In the WKYX WNGO newsroom, I'm Tim Brockwell. The man behind the deadly attack at a Colorado Planned Parenthood clinic is set to be in court. Robert Louis Deere is facing charges related to the deaths of a police officer and 2 civilians, as well as the injury of 9 others. The shooting and standoff have caused yet another uproar for those that are calling for more gun control. Republican California Congressman Darrell Issa told Fox News that the mental health aspect should not be ignored.
As much as we're pro-Second Amendment, we have to realize that some people clearly do not have the capacity, and this seems to be one of them. And I think it's terrible when you mix the two, because there is a fix for getting the guns out of the mentally ill's hands and treating them, and I think we need to do both.
The authorities have yet to release the motive of the attack. The Kentucky State Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting that occurred Saturday in Madisonville. According to state police, deputies from the Hopkins County Sheriff's Department attempted to stop a pickup truck traveling at a high rate of speed on I-69. That vehicle was driven by a 15-year-old juvenile who reportedly attempted to flee and evade the deputy. Police say the juvenile exited I-69 at exit 116 and lost control of his truck, causing it to leave the road and travel down an earthen embankment. State police say the juvenile then turned his truck toward the deputy and accelerated. The deputy reportedly fired his handgun, striking the juvenile driver. The juvenile was taken to Baptist Health Hospital in Madisonville for treatment of his injuries. He is currently listed in stable condition. The second juvenile passenger that was in the vehicle was not injured. Criminal charges against both juveniles are pending. Minor tremors along the New Madrid fault line are nothing new. Having well over a dozen quakes in less than a week, however, is a little more rare. The latest quake was just under the threshold of being able to be felt by most people. According to the USGS, a 2.5 magnitude quake epicentered near Marston, Missouri, shook the ground a few minutes before 10 a.m. today. This is the latest tremor over the past week that included a dozen quakes just one day last week. Since the initial cluster of 12 quakes, the New Madrid has been pretty active, registering an additional 7 quakes, all of which were around 3 or less. All the quakes have been centered near the airport in Marston, Missouri, just across the Mississippi River from Fulton County, Kentucky. In all, there have been 19 tremors in just 5 days. A new phone scam involving a local radio station has been reported in the area. According to the McCracken County Sheriff's Office, the suspects have found a way to secure the radio station WKYQ's phone number and have it show up on a person's phone when they call and request credit card information. Jamie Futrell, the radio station's general manager, has advised the Sheriff's Office that WKYQ is not in any way affiliated with this incident. If anyone from the community receives any phone calls displaying the number 270-554-9336, do not give them any information. A 3-vehicle crash in McCracken County Thursday left 2 people injured. According to the McCracken County Sheriff's Office, the collision happened around 1:15 p.m. on Husband Road at the intersection of Hove Camp Road. Deputies said a van driven by 62-year-old Sandra Bowerman of Paducah was traveling south on Husband Road and attempting to turn left onto Hove Camp Road in front of a motorcycle driven by 24-year-old Robert Marshall of Paducah, who was northbound on Husband Road. According to deputies, Marshall's motorcycle collided with the rear corner of Bowerman's van, ejecting Marshall and his passenger, 21-year-old Vicky Chapman of Paducah. The motorcycle collided with a third vehicle driven by 26-year-old Stephen Jones of Paducah. Marshall and Chapman were taken to a local hospital with multiple injuries. Bowerman and Jones were not injured. A disturbance outside the Graves County Courthouse on Wednesday led to 3 drug arrests. Here's Joe Jackson.
According to the Graves County Sheriff's Office, 61-year-old William Wilson, 58-year-old Kenneth Edwards, and 42-year-old Jennifer Dunn, all of Mayfield, were at the courthouse Wednesday morning when Wilson and Dunn got into an argument. Court security officers followed them out to the front lawn. As drug detectives began speaking with them about what had taken place, they determined that illegal drug trafficking was taking place on courthouse property. Wilson was charged with trafficking in controlled substance. Edwards was charged with trafficking controlled substance, possession of controlled substance, and prescription controlled substance not in the proper container. Dunn was charged with possession of controlled substance, prescription controlled substance not in the proper container, public intoxication, and disorderly conduct. All 3 were lodged in the Graves County Jail. I'm Joe Jackson.
More news later here or anytime at westkentuckystar.com. In the WKYX WNGO newsroom, I'm Tim Brockwell. Matt Bevin has taken the oath to become the 62nd governor of Kentucky during a private ceremony just after midnight in the state capitol. Bevin succeeds Democrat Steve Beshear, who could not seek re-election because of term limits. Bevin is only the state's 9th Republican governor in its 223-year history and the second since 1971. A full day of events is scheduled for today, including a worship service, a parade, and a public swearing-in ceremony on the Capitol steps. An investment manager from Louisville, Bevin has never held public office. He started his political career by losing badly to U.S. Senator Mitch McConnell in the 2014 Senate primary, but Bevin came back to win the Republican primary for governor by just 83 votes. He defeated Democrat Jack Conway in November. A McCracken County teen has been charged in connection with the shooting Sunday evening. According to Paducah police detectives, the investigation led them to charge 18-year-old Demontarius Stigger with first-degree wanton endangerment. A warrant has reportedly been issued for his arrest. Police were called at 5:06 p.m. to the 1300 block of Walter Jeton Boulevard to an altercation in the street, and a number of shots were fired. One man was struck in the forearm and was taken to a local hospital for treatment. His name has not been released. Anyone with information about the shooting or about Stigger's whereabouts is asked to call the Paducah Police Department at 270-444-8550 or Crime Stoppers at 270-443-TELL. Several people were hurt Monday morning in a crash on the I-24 Ohio River Bridge. Bill Hughes reports.
Around 8:20 a.m., responders were dispatched to the westbound lanes of I-24's bridge for a two-vehicle crash with injuries. McCracken County Sheriff's deputies said 30-year-old Cody Atkinson of Metropolis was westbound on the bridge when his pickup truck ran out of gas. Atkinson got out and started walking to Illinois to get fuel. His passenger, 30-year-old Sarah Morales, also of Metropolis, told police she got out of the truck and started walking toward Paducah. About this time, 70-year-old Jimmy Crowder of Elkton, Kentucky, hit the pickup with his van. Both vehicles came to rest, blocking the westbound lanes. Crowder didn't seek medical treatment, but 3 of his passengers were taken to the hospital for treatment of their injuries. Traffic was forced to detour using the Brookport Bridge for several hours. I'm Bill Hughes.
A Tennessee man was arrested after a traffic stop on I-24 late Saturday afternoon. According to Paducah police, a canine officer stopped a vehicle at mile marker 4, Hinkleville Road. Police said a dog alerted to drugs, where 33-year-old Jamie A. Marshall, a passenger in the vehicle, was sitting. Officers searched the vehicle and reportedly found about 7 grams of meth, along with digital scales, syringes, and other items in Marshall's backpack. Marshall was booked into the McCracken County Regional Jail. A Marshall County husband and wife were arrested Friday on drug charges. Matt McLean reports.
Deputies in Marshall County have been conducting an investigation involving 41-year-old Timothy Long and his wife, 34-year-old Rebecca Long, both of Hardin. The investigation led to a search warrant being carried out at their home on Watkins Street. Police saying the search yielded 19.3 grams of crystal meth, 13 grams of pot, a glass pipe, digital scales, rolling papers, a grinder, cash, and a semi-automatic handgun. The Longs were both arrested on charges of trafficking in a controlled substance, possession of pot, and possession of drug paraphernalia. They were booked in the Marshall County Jail. I'm Matt McLean.
Kentucky's Supreme Court is being asked to decide what it means to be a parent in today's ever-changing definition of family. 2 women, former same-sex partners identified in court only by their initials, are fighting over custody of a 9-year-old girl. One woman had a baby with the help of a sperm donor in 2006, but the woman's relationship ended in 2011. Now, the biological mother has cut off contact with the other woman and married a man. The man is trying to adopt the girl. The other woman wants to block the adoption, and she won a favorable family court ruling. An appeals court reversed that ruling. The Kentucky Supreme Court will hear arguments in the case Thursday. It's one of several such disputes across the country. Former Damar College students who qualify for payments as part of a recent settlement have until Thursday, December 10th, to file a claim. Joe Jackson reports.
Attorney General Jack Conway's office said in a statement on Monday that only about 2,500 claims had been filed by December 1st out of a pool of about 8,000 former students. He encouraged others to apply. Conway's office reached a $12.4 million settlement with the Career College, stemming from a lawsuit accusing Damar of violating Kentucky's Consumer Protection Act. Damar agreed to provide $1.2 million to be distributed among students who completed at least one term of study at a campus between July 2006 and July 2011. I'm Joe Jackson.
More news later here or anytime at westkentuckystar.com.